Ready?
3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, my name is Disuko and welcome back to another video on the Disuko Flips YouTube channel. Today we're joined here with my partner T, and we're going to be opening up a very cool package from our dear friend Rob Heath.
Thank you, Rob.
T got into the hobby recently. Because of me, I indoctrinated him.
Snap parabolic. This is your fault.
He spent $400 on balisongs so far, and he can't even do behind the 8-ball.
Bro, you don't need to call me out like that. If only we had some sort of knife. If
only we had
sharp,
some kind of
knife-like
sharp object.
Yippee! Aw, big case.
In here. Oh shoot, we got some stickers.
Oh shoot, stickers!
Let's look at the stickers first.
Oh, big Rob sticker.
We got some nabalis stickers.
We got big Rob sticker. This is sick.
And something that's really cool. I don't know if you've seen the box before.
What?
Like, this was the crate with nabalis box they had last year. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. It switches between two different graphics and you pull on this little pull tab, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so anyways, the story behind these balisongs is that they were initially giveaway prizes from a giveaway Rob did, but the people who won like never claimed them. When he heard that T was getting into the hobby, and that I was on the lookout for an Extrusion V1, he was like, "Oh my god, I have some balisongs. I'll just send them over to you guys." So thank you, Rob, for doing that. Remember to look at the camera when you're doing stuff directed at the viewer. So I think this is something pretty cool. This is also something pretty cool. I think we should unbox this one first.
Yeah.
Would you like to do the honors of unboxing our first balisong? If only there was some kind of sharp object.
No, heck you. I don't want to get sharp objects near this beautiful box.
Yeah, get that tape right off there. You gotta do it on camera, Liz. See, this is where the nuance comes in. Is you did that whole taping completely out of frame. Yippee! Da 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 da. We got some extra spacers, which I actually didn't know it came with, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Ah, another one of these things.
I got some bushings and some extra hardware.
The pivot aligner thing.
The funky nabalis pivot alignment tool.
Yeah.
And of course, the balisong himself.
Bro, it's pretty.
There is the Extrusion V1. A balisong that I think the last time I flipped one of these would be Blade Show 2024 because we gave away a bunch of these for the bite handle rave last year. And this year we gave away a couple of the new version of the Extrusion, which I'm very excited about. So now we have two, which is really neat.
Pretty.
Because we now have both versions of the Extrusion. This one has the cool little wave pattern on it. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. Let me go get our Extrusion V2 Impulse.
I can go grab mine. I think it's in
go grab yours. That loser's gone. The Extrusion V1 is really interesting to me just because of how like unique the construction of it was. The swordfish was all aluminum as well from Squid Industries. I'm pretty sure they still are offering swordfish, but I think that the Extrusion was a far more interesting version of an all-aluminum balisong because it aimed to be cheap with the way that the handles were machined. Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah. Comparing
the Extrusion V1 to the Extrusion V2. There are some key differences, and that is, for one, the finish is a lot different. Like, there's not a lot of grip on the Extrusion V1, which they did fix with the second version, but then it was almost too grippy, I heard a lot of people say. The handles are a lot more square on the V2 Extrusion, probably just because of, you know, the machining process and, you know, what is cheaper for them. And most notably, the blades. The Extrusion V1 has a completely aluminum blade, whereas the Extrusion V2 actually does have a steel blade, which is interesting to see. Because as a trainer, the Extrusion V1 is very nice, but you know, it's a little light and it's a little bit non-standard compared to other balisongs, which when you're looking at a beginner balisong, sometimes it's not the best to have something that's too, you know, deviated from the standard. So while it is a cool, you know, construction and a cool design, I do think that this V2 is definitely going to be a lot better for the beginner market.
I really like the pattern on it. Like, that was like the first thing that caught my eye out of the box. It would be cool anodized, like all the way down.
What's interesting is the original one, despite having not a steel blade and just being completely aluminum, is actually more expensive than the V2 one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can get the non-anodized version of the V2, the Impulse, for like...
I think it was like $35.
It was $35, and then it's $45 and $55 for the anodized and gradient anodized ones, I believe.
Well, some of the anodized ones, I think there was like a red with a silver blade and a blue with a silver blade that were the lower price.
Huge thank you to nabalis for sending this over, actually. I should for sure shout them out for that. I would love to do an in-depth review of this thing in the future because it is genuinely, like, I think has cornered the beginner market for, like, the best beginner balisong. It's cheap, it has a really standard configuration. It flips really well, oh my god.
It does. That one's like my daily carry one.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've also been daily carrying the Impulse a little bit. And because it has the steel blade, it's probably going to hold up a little bit more to drops and stuff than the Extrusion V1. Yeah, here, flip it. Let's get some flipping opinions.
Oh, God.
Let me move the camera.
You're setting me up to be judged.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, good to see Choker.
Trying so hard.
Expert balisong flipper. Yeah, I flipped one of these last year at Blade Show for the bite handle rave and all that, and I really liked the way it flipped. I still really like the way it flips.
I really want to see color on it. I feel like blues would look really nice with that pattern.
Yeah. I think that the V2, the Impulse, is a lot more like standard. Probably can't hear anything over the clicking. The V2 is for sure a lot more of a standard configuration, but I just am so glad I was able to get a hold of these because, you know, it's such a unique, like, design, and it has a very interesting spot in, like, history, I feel, just because of how funky the construction is and the,
think it's pretty.
Method. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, that is the V1 extrusion. Very excited to have one of these. Thank you so much, Rob Heath, for sending out this V1.
Yeah!
And thank you, nabalis, for sending out the V2. Maybe I'll do a comparison video down the line.
It's really cool to see them next to each other.
It is neat. You kind of see how they've evolved. All right, well, we have another balisong to unbox, and you can probably tell that this is something pretty fancy because it comes in a funky case.
That's cool.
There it is. We have a false edge teal wing. Thank you, Rob, for sending this one out, especially because this is one of nabalis' higher end models, and I'm very excited to have another one. Because if you didn't know, that was an awesome voice crack.
That was an awesome voice crack.
If you didn't know, I actually already have a wing that is Rob Heath related because at Blade Show last year, I actually handle swapped. I had this exact wing that nabalis sent over to me, and Rob had a pink wing that nabalis sent over to him. So we handle swapped the blue and the pink handle, and we engraved it with disuko edition inside the channel. I have disuko edition 2 out of 2. Rob has disuko edition 1 out of 2. And as far as I know, those are the only disuko edition wings that are out there.
Wow, wait.
Yeah. And now we have a T edition wing.
Yay!
In the box, it doesn't really come with too much. I know that generally when they ship it to you, it'll come with the little wrench on the blade, which I'm sad this one didn't because the wrench is incredibly funny.
I've flipped yours before, and I like it a fair bit.
Yeah, I've flipped my wing before. Here's a different one.
There. I still have to figure out that catch.
You're getting there. What are your thoughts on the wing, Liz?
I really like the wing. I have stolen your wing before, and I really like your wing.
Yeah.
The texture on it is nice. I like the texture when I'm holding it. I'm also just a little guy that likes funky textures, so.
Autism.
Yeah, they kind of got me nailed there, but I really like this, and I also really like that it's the false edge blade. I ended up getting the Volt Pro, my Golden Volt Pro, at Blade Show, and I actually got both blades on it. I shied away from the false edge blade that it came with initially, and then as soon as we put the trainer blade back on, the one with like the bottle opener on it, I immediately was just like, okay, no, put the other one back on.
I do like the false edge blades a lot.
And it's kind of been helping me get over my being a massive coward.
Yeah, we both have wings now, though.
Yeah!
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. This was another epic disuko video. Okay, it's outro time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to Rob Heath for sending out these balisongs for us to check out and to add to T's beginner collection.
Yay!
We are very grateful for these.
So
and
grateful.
Be on the lookout for some more posts about these on my Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you to Nabalis for sending out the Extrusion V2. I waited to kind of look at this thing. I was going to do an unboxing, but I was really excited to look at it, so I just did a YouTube live, or an Instagram live unboxing. But it's nice now to have both versions of the Extrusion to be able to compare them. So be on the lookout for a video comparing the two extrusions, because I think that might be something kind of interesting. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Video's over.
Hey! That was your laptop!